Hey everybody, it's Missy. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here today as part of the Altenew Scrapbook Collection blog hop, and I'm going to be working with this gorgeous reflections kit. It's been out for a while, but this is the first time I've got my hands on it. The colors, the patterns, I'm just in love with this. It's very hard to choose what to start with for my layout. Now, if you follow me, you know I love bright colors, and so I am obsessed with these rainbow type colors. Everything is so bright, so many fun patterns, a lot of watercolor type of things. I was playing around with that sheet that you just saw. I've already cut some things out, but lots of florals, lots of, splotchy watercolor things, and they're just so pretty. So for my layout for this blog hop, I wanted to do some die cutting. And I was going through, I believe this one is from the Just Nick store, and it's a set of butterflies kind of flying off, grouped together at an angle. And I got a new sticky mat. Can you tell? Look how sticky it is. Yes, finally got a new mat, nice and clean and sticky. So I cut these butterflies on some white cardstock, and I love that they're very thin, and inside the wings there's this little loop. It's very pretty. And so what I'm going to do is create sort of a rainbow effect behind the butterfly. So I'm going to go through some of these pattern papers and just sort of make some colorful, back the cut file with some colorful papers. And the thing is I'd already cut into this one, so I'm going to use that one. But it was so hard to choose. It was so hard to say, oh, I don't want to cut into this. It's so pretty. And in the kit, there are 2 of each pattern paper. But still, I was in the hoarding mindset. And I was like, I don't want to cut into this. It's so pretty. But yeah, I was originally going to do a stars layout. As you can see there, I already used that paper. And it just didn't jump out at me. I don't know. I just decided to change my mind. And so I decided to go with butterflies. And so I'm going to use this leftover paper that I've already cut up. And I'm going to back all of the butterflies with it. And I'm going to try to get lots of pinks, oranges, greens, blues, yellows, even that purple color. They look so pretty together. And the good thing about doing this technique, and I'm sure many of you have tried this, you've done it before, I've done it a million times. It's good that you can use little scraps of paper. And so I do a lot of work with these butterflies with minimal paper, because you just need enough to back each of those open spots. Sometimes I'll trace it and cut it out and then glue it down. In this case, I'm just gluing it straight down and then cutting around it. And either way, it works. And my butterflies keep sticking to my desk because my sticky mat was new and it left a lot of sticky on the back. And so, yeah, they're very sticky. So I'm not going to make you watch me do this entire thing, but I do most of the butterflies, or all of the butterflies, with just 2 of the pattern papers. I use that rainbow brush stroke paper and then this really pretty overlapped circles paper. And I just add the glue to the wings and then decide where I want it to go and stick it down and then cut it out. And you could do this with any pattern paper, any color scheme, any shapes of that you cut out. The possibilities are endless. I love rainbows, and so those rainbow papers were just so pretty. So I've got all the butterflies done. I love how that looks. And I'm going to be brave and use this pattern paper as my background. Now, when I just add the butterflies onto it as is, you can see it's very busy. There's all those circles, and they're really pretty. They're like watercolor circles. So I'm going to take some white acrylic paint and just kind of add it to mostly the center of this paper. And I'm going to blend out a lot of the middle of it, and so it gives me more of a solid white space to work with. And I'm going to leave the dots kind of visible on the corner. So you can see that. You can still kind of see it through the paint. Here's my picture. I love how this matches. It's a picture of my oldest daughter, and it's from, gosh, I don't remember the date, 2 years ago maybe. And she was just sitting outside one evening on the patio and was just running around and smiling and laughing, and she just was in a great mood. And I love the lighting. It was at that time of evening where the light was just perfect. And the colors in the leaves, or the palm fronds behind her and in her shirt, matched those butterflies perfectly. And then the way she's looking, it's going to look like she's looking up at the butterflies. It was just the perfect picture for this. So my paint's dry. I'm just adding some shimmers. I use shimmers a lot. These are beautiful, different styles of watercolor. And I'm going to try to add in the colors that are in the butterflies. and it's going to kind of peek through and around the butterflies and the picture. I used some blue, I'm using some pink here. You can see how that looks. It looks totally different as you're, making the watercolor onto the paper, and then once you put your cut file or the picture on top of it, it totally looks different. So it's okay to get messy and just be kind of random on your background, because a lot of it is going to be covered up. And you never know until you make your mess and you get it all down there, and then you bring it back and look and you say, oh, I love how that looks. And the nature of this is some of it is going to be covered up, but I like for a lot of it to kind of just peek out from behind everything. It just sort of gives this illusion of all this pretty watery color coming out from behind everything. I'm going to add in a little bit of yellow here, and I know some of you are probably wondering why I use white paint instead of gesso. Sometimes it just depends on my mood, and in this case, this paper was so busy with all the dots, it would have taken a lot more gesso because the gesso is a little bit thinner. And so I wanted to coat all those circles and cover most of them up, with less product. And so the paint is thicker, it dries fast, and it reacts different when I add the watercolor on top of it. It still works great, but it is different than gesso. I can't explain it. This is more of a smooth, slick finish, whereas the gesso is a little bit gritty, but it still protects the paper and it doesn't allow the water to kind of seep through right away. You can still do a lot of blending and smudging. It just gives a different finish. It's almost more of a slick, shiny look instead of a matte, gritty look. But I'm using shimmers, and shimmers have shimmer in them, and so my finish is going to be shimmery anyway. I'm adding some green. I also added some gelatos. I wanted to pull out that deep indigo bluish purple color over there right to the left of where my picture is going to go, and so that's why I did that in that area. So I'm using some shimmer sprays, some of the Shimmers Creamies that come in those little pots. I just picked what colors matched perfectly, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of green gelato as well. I love how this is looking. I was very excited. Sometimes when you're making a layout and you're thinking, this is okay, I don't love it. And then sometimes you make a layout and you're like, I love this. That's kind of how I was feeling with this one. It was just, I think these colors just make me happy. Cut files make me happy. Mixed media makes me happy. And when my picture goes so well, it just makes me happy. And so the more I went with this, the more excited I was getting, and I was very pleased with how it was going. And I know I spend most of this video making my background, and that's just the nature of, I guess, how I make my pages. I like to spend time doing it and getting it exactly like I want it. And now I'm just kind of making the colors a little bit more bold. I did add a little bit more yellow gold over there to the top left area. And some more pink. And see how this just looks like a mess when it's just by itself? Sometimes you just look at it and you're like, this just looks like a kid just spilled some paint everywhere. Okay, I did some stitching there on the centers of each of the butterflies, just some white zigzags. And now I'm going to start to build everything. See, it does look like a kid painted this in the background, but once you add everything to it, it just kind of becomes more artsy. And I'm not saying I'm an artist. I've never claimed to be an artist. I just like making a mess with my scrapbooking. But it has more of an artsy look to it, I guess, is what I would say. Love it. Okay, now these are the chipboard stickers. Gorgeous. Again, stunning colors. I just wanted to incorporate a couple of those, and so I'm going to use this really pretty, I don't even know what kind of flowers those are, but they're pretty. And I'm going to use this green stem to pull in a little more pop of green, and I want that kind of coming out from behind the photo there on the left, since I've got all those butterflies on the right. These are some little acetate pieces that you can punch out. You've got some frames, some words. I'm not sure about what my title is going to be. I wanted to use this beautiful, but it's kind of big. It's not big, but I don't really have a spot for it, if that makes sense. And there's two butterflies, but I didn't want to add a lot of black. I tried to incorporate these two butterflies in, but they just kind of darkened things up, and I felt like it was good without them. I can't wait to use that big colorful floral. So now I'm going to come in with just smaller things. This is like a cardstock sticker sheet. I'm going to use that little cloud that says Simply Love, and then this pink sticker says Making Memories, and it matches the pink in the background perfectly. So I struggle for a while on what to do with a title and where to put it. But I do use quite a few of these. These are the wooden buttons. And they do have a little sticky on the back, but I peeled it off because I didn't want to get too much dimension. But I'm going to use some of those. And I have not glued anything down yet. I do want to add some thread for some extra texture and color kind of behind the butterflies. And again, this just kind of adds to the messy, artsy look. And you know, butterflies are whimsical. They're flying all over the place. And so thread just sort of... Who am I kidding? I use thread on everything. It doesn't matter if it's a butterfly or not. I'm just trying to make up an excuse as to why I like the thread. And again, I said this a million times. I don't know why I like it. I just do. And so I'm going to pull in some pink, some blue, some of the purple. And I love this picture. I love how she looks like she's looking up at the butterflies. I don't plan this stuff. I just, with my kids, they hardly ever pose for me. They just go. And if I want pictures of them, I have to just follow them around, basically get on my knees, lay on the floor, do headstands, whatever it takes to get pictures of them. And most of them are action shots. And back in the day, it used to bug me. I was trying to say bother and bug. Bothered me that I couldn't get perfectly posed pictures. And then once I kind of realized, you know, my kids are not posy kids. They do their thing. And if I want pictures of them, it's going to have to be action shots of them doing what they do. And I've kind of embraced that. And now those are my favorite types of pictures. I mean, sure, I love when they look at the camera and they smile, and I still try to get them to do that. But a picture like this, I love so much because she's not even paying me any attention. She's doing her thing, and that's just how she is. And she looks gorgeous. And I have learned to embrace the action shots. I've embraced that a long time ago. And I think those are sometimes the best shots when your kids are not looking at the camera. So yeah, I love that. So now I'm just gluing everything down, making sure that everything is stuck. And that is Scotch tacky glue in my bottle. I get asked that almost every video that I make. It used to be Scotch Quick Dry, but now it has changed labels. It's the same thing, but it's called Scotch Tacky Glue, and I get it from Michael's, and it's white, and it is perfect for these fine liner bottles because they come empty, and I've never had a problem with this glue. I think it holds really well, it dries fairly quickly, and it's easy to get. So now I'm just sticking everything down. I love those little wood buttons. There's some hearts, there's some just, there's some words, there's some designs like stripes and things. And I mainly just added them around for some added detail, and I'm trying to figure out if this little chipboard piece is going to work, and it's just too big. So I'm going to add this little picture. That's not a picture, that's a sticker. It says smile. And I decided to go really small with the title here. So I'm going to use this sticker that says Moment Captured, and I'm going to fussy cut it out because I don't want to use it as a big blocky frame. And I am going to use that love piece over there to the left because it just kind of tucks in there and it fits. And that's not too much black. I don't think it junks up that side of the layout. I think it looks okay there. And so Moment Capture is going to go right at the top because I didn't want to put anything big over the butterflies. I think they just look beautiful as they are. I'm going to add a little bit of a couple lines here for some journaling, and that's going to be in black pen, and then I am going to add a little bit of black splatters just since I do have a little bit of black going on. And I believe that's the last thing that I'm going to do. I love how this turned out. I think this kit is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, look at those colors. Be still my beating heart. Oh my goodness. Anyway, there's a huge blog hop going on, so make sure you check out the Altenew blog and then the whole slew of blog hoppers that are on the list. You can win prizes. There are gift certificates on many of the blogs, and yeah, this kit is gorgeous. If you haven't got your hands on it yet, it is stunning. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll leave the link to my blog down below so you can check that out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.